Alright, we're back again. Let's see, what are we doing here? Going to do our countershaft and rag. Our cluster gear here. Make sure your bearing surface is clean. Looks good. Alright. Let's see, are we going to be able to get this one out easily, or it's going to fight me all the way? Looks like it's going to fight me. I like doing that. Just gonna try to figure out where the darn clip starts at. Somewhere. Bad light does not help. There it is. Fingernail usually works better than anything else for clips. This is the wraparound version, which I like better than the one-piece one. This one's more flexible, so it comes out easier. If you force it, you will bend it, so try not to force it. Alright, pull everything off. Make sure nothing's burned up. All looks to be pretty good. Wipe off the oil that's on there. Clean the solvent, whatever it is. I'm going to re-grease it up and put it back in. It's time to be ready for assembly this time. If you put it in dryer, just leave whatever was in there in there. Don't know what it is. You run the thing in neutral, it could be spinning at high RPM and burn it up. So that's why you want to make sure you got something on there, some kind of grease, oil, anything. Just because you put oil in training does not mean anything gets lubricated. It still runs dry until it gets something in there. Your large one of these with a double titty is for this one. The small one's for third gear, which is this one. Do not bend these. Make sure they sit flat. If they don't sit flat like this, throw them away. They can come out. Just like it comes off, you got to kind of go back on the same way. You got to kind of work it around. Get it over the tops of the splines here. Once you get it start all the way down, you can push it down a little bit pretty easily. Kind of work it down. Keep pushing on, eventually it'll pop in all the spots. Make sure it turns freely and has end play in it. Hear it? Okay, that's good to go. So to set our end play, we have to have the washer on here. That's where low gear goes. Low gear. Don't forget the bushing. You have to have that in there for setting your end play. Because this washer here hits up against something on this side, we're not sure what, so you always got to make sure it's all together. We don't have to have the dog in there for assembly, we're not putting grease on it yet, but you have to have it at least where it goes together. And then this washer here, nice. There it goes. This washer here goes over here like that, and it keeps the bearings in. These little small washers go against the clips that are in there. Don't know if you can see them. So those are your inner thrust washers. That way the bearings can't go all the way through. This is called loose needle bearing gears because it takes loose needle bearings. That means we get to pack in 44 rollers into here. So we're going to pack in 44 rollers. Lots of grease helps. Always grease it up before I put the washer in. Put a good layer of grease in there. Don't be afraid to put some in there. That's what's going to hold the rollers in. It also lubricates them for a while. Don't put any more than 2 at a time in. Anything more than 2 at a time you can't control. Try to do 3 like this. One always drops off to the side there, see? You gotta come back, fish it back in there, assume it doesn't drop in the hole. By the time it does that, you could have done another set of 2. So even though it seems like you're doing more, you're actually doing less. So you can also with 2, you can roll them in real easy around your fingers and drop them as a pair. See how the grease holds it in there, even though they're not all in there yet. We need a few more of these. Try to keep them upright, straight, vertical. If they lean over at an angle, you can't put them all in there. See how they're all in there. Spread it apart a little bit, the last one. Try to get the last one to go in. Sometimes you have to go back and forth a couple times, you have to make room. The grease actually takes up space. It doesn't let the roller go in. See, the last one went in. And take your finger and make sure they're all the way in there. And make sure there's grease in there. Take another wad of grease. Snot them up. grease is the only thing that's going to hold them in there for now. Put your washer in there. Wipe off the excess grease. Flip it over to the other side. Unless I try to keep my hands clean. We don't transfer grease onto everything. It's messy. See, keep my hands relatively dry. Works better. Should be 22 left. Well, I didn't lose any. Same deal, just pack them in there. Take an extra one. Who's missing one? Okay, they're all in there. Grease in there again. Try to keep most of the grease off my fingers in my rag. It builds up on it. Starts turning blue when it gets full of grease. Keep the lid on your grease and dirt don't get in it. Could be a problem down the road. Okay. One extra bearing. Now you put your countershaft in here and feel the clearance. Should be able to turn freely. It's a judgment call on what too loose is. It's definitely not tight. Now if you want, they make oversized bearings. These are 4/10 over, which takes out 8/10 clearance, which is a lot of clearance coming out. A lot of times you put them in there and you put this and it goes in tight after that. But you can check it. So this one here, it feels okay to me, so I'm not going to get too carried away about it. Should be fine. Okay, now let's see what kind of in play we're going to get over here. So we're going to go ahead and drop this into the case. Then we got to get this washer, has to be fished in down the side of here. Slide it down in there like that. You line it up through the hole right here so you can see it. See the hole centered. And then this shaft will go straight through. If you don't, it gets caught, so you won't go through. It has to be centered to go all the way through. You have to put this in after because this is recessed. The gears kind of engage, they drop inside the case lip. This here sticks out further than that, so if you put the washer in, you can't slide the gear all the way down. So you have to put the gear in here, slide it over, then put the washer over here. That's how the case is made. It works pretty good just to hold it like this. You can slip it right in there pretty easily and hold it like that. Come over here and put this in. About that far. And we put this in there. Now this one's kind of used, but it'll work again. But I'm not sure if it's the right clearance. That's what we're going to find out. Use a small screwdriver to lean it over a little bit. When the shaft goes all the way through like that, you know you're in there. So now you just check your end play. We appear to have a lot of end play. You can hear it. And you can see it. So how much do you think that is? I just start by taking out about 10. It's amazing how loose things feel when you take out a 5th out. It makes it 0 almost. Okay, so we just pull this down a little bit, just enough to get the washer out. Washer's out. Clean up the grease. I can measure it, see what size it is. This one is 78 thousandths. So we need something bigger than 78. So if we add 10 to it, we need something about 88. There's a whole bunch of washers. So it looks like there's a 90 we're out of. We have 95. See how that feels. Let's see what one we got. This one's only 85, not much different. Looks like I'm out of the 90s. There's another 95. We have a used one here which is already pre-worn. That'll give me a couple more thou, less than the brand new one. We'll try the new one first. And I already made a tool for grinding these down, so I can take one and grind it down. Make what I need. Just have to figure out what I did with it. Okay. Go in there. If you can't put the washer in there, it's probably too tight. It's going in pretty tight. Get the washer to go in. Dark, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Coming out the other side. Yeah, it's tight. That's why the shaft don't go in. So we have 0 clearance. So I like 8 to 12 thou end play on most things. We know what 0 is. It's 0 in places, it's got a 1 or 2 thou in other places. You can't rotate it because it's not all, it won't go all the way in. Okay. So this is 95. Well, the problem's getting it out of there because it's tight. Shit. Pull the shaft all the way out. Wiggle things around and try to get it to come out of there. Now it's stuck. There we go. Finally got a damn hole. Stupid hole wouldn't come in. Here's a hole right there. A hole you can put your screwdriver in and shove it out with. See how it comes out the other side a little bit. Usually they're supposed to drop out the bottom, but this one's tight. It comes out where it wants to come out. So position it so you get a little help gravity. Damn, that thing is in there. Jeez. Damn, that thing is tight. Fighting me. Alright, we need something long and skinny to get in there. Let's see here. Evo rocker box nut puller or bolt puller. Long and skinny. Jeez. Damn. I've been jamming that tight in a few years now. That thing is in there. Got everything jammed up. Gotta get the gear remove. If the gear moves, the washer will free up slightly. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that's too big. Well, that was definitely fighting me all the way. So we know this is way, way too big. Okay, we're dropping down to these were 88, 83s or something. I forget these are supposed to be. This one, 85. This is 10 thou or 8 thou. This one was 96, 96 and a half. It's extra thick. This one's 85, so we're losing 10. So it's going to give me 11 thou in play. It should be just fine. Damn. Alright, what the hell's going on here? No, it's just being stupid. You gotta be kidding me. What the hell's that thing hooked on? Alright. It goes in. This doesn't. So that tells me probably bearing moved. Yep. Bearing floating loose in there. Alright. That explains why I want to go in. Gravity usually takes care of this problem for us. We lost this washer too. Put that back where it belongs. Yeah, it goes in now. Amazing how things work when they're done correctly. Now, if you took your punch and beat on the end of the shaft and shoved it all the way through, you might do some damage. Don't do that. Okay, it's got 10 to 11 thou in play. We took out about half what was in there. Yeah, a little less than half. Alright, we're going to have to live with that because that's all we got to work with. The other size obviously is way too big. So I'll do a quick measurement in here and see if there's anything that's bigger than 85. Sometimes they do vary a little bit. That one's less. There's an 86. Okay. So this one's 1 thou thicker. So we'll try using this one. And actually it's the same size once you clean the dirt off. So no difference. So we'll stay with what we got. So that one's good to go. So that gives our in play in there. So we know what that is. Okay, next thing I do is check our third gear, which is somewhere around here. This one. That washer. There's our snap ring. See, this is only one solid one. It doesn't have multiple wraps, so these are hard to get in and out without breaking them. Usually it's a one-time deal on those. And here's our gear. So let's see, this is going to be a press fit. Not really. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and install our washer on here. Okay, before I get too involved, let's go into a quick measurement on that. See what size it is. Looks like it's about a 64 thousandths. Our snap ring. Put the screwdriver down where the splines are and push down on it. It'll spread out on you. Until you get to the point where you want it to go further, and then it won't go. You get under here like this, see? Get to the next one. Next one. There, once they're all over, you're good. Take your shift dog. You can use that to push it all the way down evenly. You heard it pop into the groove right there. You're good. Okay, this is our third gear. Goes there. It goes on there. Appears to be too much in play in that. So we need to press this on all the way down. Obviously it's not all the way tight. So we go over the press, put a little pressing load on it. We can check our in play. Alright. Didn't bring my dirty rag with me. Soak up oil in your leaky press. Use a dirty rag. Should leave that down. Okay, just put that between your two blocks there. Just come down and push this down a little bit. That sheet. Okay, that end play right there is your end play. So it goes back and forth. So we got about 10 thou. They make the washers in 5 thou increments, I think. So you could probably take out 5, but it's better to be a little loose than tight. So I think we're good with this. You can put a feeler gauge in there at an angle and kind of test it a little bit, but feeler gauges don't work too good when you put them at an angle. Okay, so I think we're all right on that. Like I said, that was a 62 thou washer, I think. So if I have a 65 thou washer, we can gain 3 thou, which would be fine, but I don't want to go to a 70, we lose 8 and that's about all we got. We only have 2 or 3 thou, which would not be enough. Okay, so to get this back out, I'm going to flip it around and just push it straight down. Okay, it's loose already. I just tapped it. That's all it took. A little love tap on there will be fine. All right, so back over here. Back on subject. Now, getting this out of here without destroying it's going to be fun. So I have a broken scribe here that's shorter than normal, so it doesn't break off as easily. So you don't really have enough room to get a screwdriver in here, but you can get the scribe under here and just get it out. So you got to figure out where the slot is. Right here is where it's at. So you just got to get behind here and try to get under it. Looks like this one is not going to do it. I cannot get under it because it's too thick. The next thing, you kind of come in here with your screwdriver like this, open it up a little bit, get it started. There it goes. Once you get it started, you got to keep it going. So you lift it. As you get really a picture of what I'm doing. It's hard to do this while filming. So you have to lift the whole thing up and slide it up a little bit. There we go. Just take the washer and slide it. So if the clip is still flat, we can reuse it. If you think it's stretched a little bit, you go like that, and you stretch it back together a little. So you just go like that with it. Sheet. Okay, so now we got a washer out. Do a quick measurement on it again. Yeah, this one's 64 thousandths. See right here at 14, not 64, because it's 50 plus 14 is 64. And this one's a plus 15, which is way too much. We're at 80 with the plastic, so it'll be about 75. So, way too much. So we're not going to use that one, obviously. Okay, so we're going to go with the stock one. Like I already figured we're going to do. should be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to clean all this stuff up here, and I got to push the seal in and get ready to assemble this tranny. So with that, let me get things cleaned up.